Hello, welcome to the 5-Minute Mystic. I'm Marcus T. Anthony, and please send me your emails or other correspondence. I'm quite happy to hear them. And today's email comes from Lesley, and she has a very important question, something that many people can relate to. And she says, can you give me some advice? Do you have anything that will help me feel more accepting of myself? Warts and all, I'm on this solitary path where people shun me and don't understand me, and look at me with disdain. Thanks, Lesley. Well, of course, this is not a pleasant situation, is it, Lesley? And, as a mystic or a person who's explored inner worlds, I like to look at problems at a very deep level. So the way I see this problem, Lesley, is it's not so much about the world, but about the way you see yourself from an inner perspective, the belief structures, the story, the biographical and karmic story that exists within your soul or your spirit. So the way to deal with this problem is to allow yourself to understand what this story is, how it came to be, and to work with the energy of that. And that's really the best way, and the way that will really help you to heal. Okay. So the world is just a mirror, really. It will mirror back to us. The universe will mirror back to us what we believe about ourselves. So it's not so much that you're an unlovable human being, or that you're bad, or you're ugly. These are the things that you've come to believe about yourself. So if I look at your energy structure, for example, what I really get is this little girl that's going, I'm bad. She's like, I'm bad, I'm dirty, I'm not good enough. No one will ever love me. What's wrong with me? And stay away from me. Stay away from me. I don't want to get hurt. So she's kind of locked herself away. And so the belief structure is, I'm ugly. I get a very strong sense that this is primarily to do with the relationship, your biographical relationship with your mother. So when you came into this world as a child, as a little girl, your mother wasn't able to receive you in the unconditional love and light that really at a soul level you deserve. So she projected her own shame and hurt onto you because she didn't accept herself. She rejected herself, so she rejected you. So this is kind of, you're bad, you're dirty, you're ugly. Who could ever want you? I don't love you. Get out. So then there's this deep tearing and this deep pain within yourself. So this is pretty difficult stuff to deal with for anybody. But it's not that different from my story as well. And some other people have written to me have had a similar story, and it's not beyond redemption. It's actually a gift at a deeper level. Because when you come into the world, our parents are perfect for our soul issues. So your soul issue basically is learning to love yourself regardless of what other people do or how they treat you. Okay? And it's up to you now to take responsibility for that hurt little girl within yourself and to love her and nurture her. That's really the way that you're going to heal. It's not enough just to use traditional therapies. In my opinion, like traditional talk therapies, cognitive behavioral therapy, you really need to connect with that little girl. And this is why I recommend inner child work. Okay, it's not easy work, but it can be very rewarding if it's done the right way. So I really recommend that you get yourself something like a little toy. Like I use a teddy bear. I've had this teddy bear for about 15 years, since I started doing inner child work. If you're a girl, you can use a doll as well. I don't care if you're a boy and use a doll for all I care, but whatever you want, whatever helps you connect with your inner child. And when you grab this little toy, you can dialogue with it, and pretend that she's you. So you're actually channeling the energy of that little girl, and feel what she feels. She might say, I feel so lonely and lost, nobody loves me. And you can feel that within yourself. And then you channel back to the little girl. I understand you feel this way. Why do you feel that way? And she'll start answering questions if you develop that relationship with her. So the inner child will start to connect with you. And that's what you really need to do. You really need to bring this inner child, which is now, sitting behind you. It's kind of lost in psychic space. Bring it around closer until it's within your own heart. And that's what will help you to heal. Now, I go into some of this in my book, Discover Your Soul Template, and you can learn the understanding of it and the basic tools. Probably, though, you'll need to find somebody to help you out with that, because it can be tricky work, okay? And there are some things that can be done incorrectly. It's very important, for example, after you do this kind of inner child work, that you bring the inner child into the present, okay? Because in a sense, the inner child is trapped in the past. So while she's in the past, while she's out there in this psychic space, she's actually trapped in the past. She's not seeing what's real, so she's actually trapped 20, 30, 40 years in the past, whenever you were a little girl. And once you bring her back into the present. And then you talk to her. And you become that little girl. So, it's a subtle thing though. You're becoming a little girl, but you're also developing a space between you. So you're becoming the parent to that little girl. And how do you become present? Well, you just look around the room. After doing this session with this little girl, you look now and you see something on the desk. It's a pen. Bring your attention. In this moment, this is what's real. A simple little pen. Now, that might seem like nonsense to someone who doesn't understand what it is to be present. But if you haven't healed this part of yourself, the inner child, then you cannot see what's in front of you. It can't see the pen. It doesn't feel the presence of the tree or the flowers. It can't be here now. And another way to be present is to connect with your own breath, your own breathing. So after the session, where you've spoken to this inner child, feel yourself within your body. Breathe deeply into the body. And that allows you to become a deeply embodied person in the present moment. So I highly recommend inner child work for you. And once you've done inner child work, then you can move into things like affirmations and visualizations, okay? If you don't do the inner child work or connect with that part of yourself, then the affirmations and the creative visualizations won't have as much power, okay? So here's some affirmations that I can suggest for you, Lesley. Here's a really good one for you, which I've developed. I'm now willing to consider the possibility that I am a beautiful and lovable human being. So notice I use the term, I'm now willing to consider the possibility. Because there's part of you already that doesn't quite believe this, or won't quite believe that it's true, that I'm beautiful and lovable. By using the term, I'm willing to consider the possibility, it takes a bit of the pressure off the mind or the ego. Okay. Another good one for you might be, I am beautiful, I am lovable, I am innocent. Because at a soul level, you are innocent. Or I'm now willing to allow others into my life, one step at a time. Because at the moment you're pushing people away. It's also important when you've been hurt to acknowledge this little girl, the hurt part of yourself. You can't just go out into the world and take this little girl, or teddy bear little boy in my case, just throw her, at people. Because you're just going to get hurt. And when people do project their stuff onto you, because all people do, some people will reject you and judge you, this little girl is just going to go run away and back into psychic space, and she'll disconnect from you. So you need to keep her with you, but you also need to be very mindful that you're working in a world where other people are also hurt and also damaged. Okay, so keep her with you, one step at a time. Be careful. Okay, and that's how you take you begin the process of moving from where you are now, okay, to the healing process. So you take, in a way, you do the healing work, then you take it out into the world, one step at a time. It's very important to take action. So if at the moment you're isolated, then you start approaching people. You might like to start with women of your own age, okay. If you have a relationship with a man, you can connect with him at a deeper level, or you can slowly begin to maybe approach other men, go into places where you find other men that you might be able to over time develop a relationship with, while keeping that little girl with you. And once you shine this light onto yourself, see, really, what happens is when people go into the darkness, or they shut the light out of themselves, it's when the inner child leaves them. Okay. There's no way when this child is lost in the dark. It's entangled with other people, other spaces, It's not with you, it's in the darkness. When you bring that into your heart, then the light shines through you, okay? And other people then will respond to that light. They'll see that you are a beautiful and lovable human being. And the great irony is then you won't need love so much from other people. It won't matter so much whether other people love you, accept you, or judge you, because you'll be standing in your own power as a woman. And that's the great gift of healing and presence. And remember this, there is actually spiritual guidance and help always available for people. So take the time to develop some kind of meditative practice. I like to just first thing in the morning when you get up, if you can. If you work, create half an hour every morning for you. You have to do that. In your space, Lesley, because you've been hurt, you have to create the time. You have to make it a priority, okay? Otherwise it won't get any better. It will just stay the same. So it does take discipline, it takes time and energy. And remember, not to take it too seriously, because, spirituality requires discipline, a certain discipline, but it isn't worth being overly serious about, is it? Life is meant to be fun, we're meant to laugh, and you're meant to have a good time with it. So that's my advice to you, Lesley, and I wish you all the best, and may God's love be with you, as it always is. Thank you.